Shimchong, the honorable daughter who is willing to give up her life in order to help her blind father regain his sight. So her name is Shimchong. The sacrifice of Shimchong. Shimchong lived with her father who was blind. Her mother had passed away, so Shimchong had to take care of her father. She loved him very much and was a devoted daughter. She was happy spending her life with him, making sure that he was comfortable. Life was very difficult for Shimchong and her father. Because her father was blind, he could not work. Shimchong could not leave her father alone in order to work, so they had to live only on what friends or strangers gave them. Many times they had to go hungry for several days. One day, Shimchong's father fell into a river while he was walking across the bridge. Luckily, a monk was passing by and saved him. The monk felt sympathy for the blind man, so he told Shimchong's father how he could see again. The monk said, "Poor man, make an offering of 300 bags of rice to Buddha, and your eyes will be opened soon." Shimchong's father promised, "This I will surely do." When Shimchong's father came back home, Shimchong saw her father soaked to the skin. She asked him what had happened. Shimchong's father told her what the monk had told him to do. "We are so poor," he said. "I only wish I had 300 bags of rice." "I will have to break my promise," he added with regret. The next day, Shimchong met a sailor in the town. His ship was in the harbor. The crew was waiting for a good weather so that they could safely go to sea. The sailors were looking for a young girl to sacrifice to the sea god. The crew believed that such a sacrifice would please the sea god, who would make the sea calm for their journey. The sailor had heard about Shimchong's father and his promise. He asked Shimchong to sacrifice herself to the sea god, and in return, they would give 300 bags of rice to the temple for her father. Shimchong believed that the sea god was cruel. Any girl who was sacrificed to him would surely die. However, Shimchong did not hesitate. "Very well," she said. "You may sacrifice me to the sea god, but first you must send the 300 bags of rice to the temple." The next day, the rice arrived at the temple. Then Shimchong left to join the crew of the ship, which set sail that evening. When the ship was far out to sea, the captain said to Shimchong, "We have kept our part of bargain. Now you must keep yours." "Yes," she said, "I know." Shimchong knew that she had to do. She jumped into the sea, believing that she was going to die. The sea god, however, was not a cruel god. He was kind and generous. He did not allow Shimchong to drown. Instead, he adopted her as a daughter and gave her a comfortable life in his underwater palace. For a while, Shimchong was happy living with all the sea creatures, but she could not stop worrying about her father. One day, Shimchong told the sea god about her father and how worried she was about him. He understood. The sea god put her in a giant water lily and took her to the surface of the sea. Shimchong floated in the lily towards the land. As the giant water lily floated towards the shore, one of the king's servants noticed it and told the king. The king told his servant to bring the water lily to his palace. Once it was in the palace, the water lily opened, and Shimchong stepped out. The king had never seen such a beautiful young woman. Shimchong explained to the king who she was, where she had been, and why. The king realized that Shimchong was not only very beautiful, she also a very good person. He asked her to be his queen. "I will marry you, your majesty." Shimchong said, "if you help me find my father." "I will do my best," that the king said. The king offered to hold a banquet for all the blind men in the country. "When the people in your hometown hear about the banquet," the king told Shimchong, "someone will bring your father to it." News about the banquet quickly traveled across the country. Soon blind men began to arrive at the palace. Many of them were beggars. Shimchong sat at the gate of the palace and studied every blind man as he passed by. But not one of them looked like her father. "My father hasn't come, your majesty," Shimchong told the king. "But you have done your best. I will still marry you." The king told Shimchong, "We will wait one more day. I want you to be happy, and I know you will be happy only if you find your father." The next day, Shimchong sat at the gate of the palace from sunrise to sunset. Only a few more blind men arrived that day. Then, just before dark, an old man in ragged clothes came toward the palace. Shimchong was sure it was her father. She ran towards him calling, "Father, it is I, Shimchong, your daughter." "Is it really you, Shimchong?" her father asked. He was so excited that for the first time since Shimchong had left, he opened his eyes. Then a miracle happened. He could see. Shimchong led her father into the palace to see the king. "Welcome," the king said. "As the father of my queen, and because of her devotion to you, you will live here in the palace with us for the rest of your life." As for Shimchong, she became the most loved queen the kingdom had ever had. This was because she understood what it was to be poor. She also knew what it was like to have to make sacrifice for one's family. The end. Oh, yeah, I love her too. So freshman high school girls and sophomore girls, oh, they're very cute, and they really pay attention to me. So I feel very respectful. And in Korea, many students want to get a higher score in her schoolworks. So I feel a little pressure, but it's okay. Oh, in one class we have approximately 23 students. So it's kind of small class.